All right, so everyone's still recovering from their holiday feasts, but the Premier League doesn't stop for anything, right?
No rest for the wicked, they say.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we've got a Boxing Day cracker to unpack here. Fulham hosting Bournemouth to wrap up the year. I mean, who predicted Fulham in the race for Europe at the start of the season?
Yeah, they've really come out swinging, exceeding expectations left and right.
And then you've got Bournemouth aiming for a top six finish themselves. Definitely high stakes all around. But that's what makes this deep dive so interesting, eh? We got a whole bunch of match previews and stats to dissect, and, well, let's just say there are a few things that really jumped out at me.
Okay, I'm all ears. Let's hear what caught your eye.
Well, first off, both these teams are on fire right now. We're talking unbeaten streaks. Fulham hasn't tasted defeat in their last 6 Premier League matches.
That's right, 2 wins and 4 draws, which is a pretty decent run.
And it's not just any run. Their home form is especially strong lately. Unbeaten at Craven Cottage this whole month.
With a win and 2 draws, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. But here's the kicker. Marco Silva. Seems like he's got Bournemouth's number or something.
What do you mean?
He's never lost a home game against them as a manager. Ever. 3 wins and 2 draws against the Cherries on his own turf. Now, I know it's just one piece of the puzzle, but doesn't that kind of mess with the mental game a bit?
It's got to play a role, right? That kind of history is hard to ignore. Though Bournemouth are on a pretty impressive run themselves right now. They're also unbeaten in their last 6 matches.
Really? I didn't realize it was that long.
Yeah, they've been racking up the wins, too. 4 victories and 2 draws in that stretch. Plus, they're hungry for their 4th consecutive away win. Haven't managed that since December last year.
Huh, that's interesting. But their manager, Andoni Iraola, didn't seem totally happy after their recent draw with Crystal Palace. I read somewhere that he said they lacked that killer instinct in front of goal,
Yeah.
even though their defense held up pretty well. Do you think that's a recurring theme for them or just a blip?
It's hard to say for sure based on just one comment. Their defense has been quite solid, especially on the road, but converting chances, that's been a bit more up and down. I guess we'll see if they can find that killer instinct against Fulham, eh?
Absolutely. Okay, so let's shift gears a bit and look at the head-to-head record between these two. Seems like Fulham's got a bit of a stronghold at Craven Cottage.
They've definitely had the upper hand lately, yeah. They're unbeaten in their last 3 against Bournemouth at Craven Cottage, a win and 2 draws. And those haven't exactly been quiet affairs either.
Oh, you mean like snooze fests? No way.
Not at all. The last 2 were high-scoring matches, over 2.5 goals in each. I'm thinking we might be in for another goal fest this time around. What do you think?
Fingers crossed. Always makes for an exciting watch. And speaking of excitement, there are a couple of players I'm really keen to see in action. On Fulham's side, there's Harry Wilson. I was reading that he actually spent a season on loan at Bournemouth a few years back.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Back in 2019-20, I think.
Yeah, so there's a little extra story there. But it's not just that. He's been coming up big for Fulham lately. Scored the equalizer against Chelsea recently. And get this. All 4 of his goals this season have come after the 80th minute. Talk about clutch. Do you think that's just luck, or is there something more to it?
I'd say it's more than just luck. Wilson has a real knack for finding those gaps late in the game when defenses are tired. Plus, he comes off the bench a lot. That fresh energy can really shake things up, especially when the other team is already worn down. It's a tactic that seems to be working for Fulham.
That makes sense. So timing and strategy, not just individual brilliance. Now, over on Bournemouth's side, there's Antoine Semenyo. Remember that goal he scored against Manchester United right before Christmas?
Yeah, the guy's got talent.
And guess what? All 3 of his away goals this season have come in the second half. So both teams have got these players who can turn the tide in the later stages of a match. That's got to be a factor.
Absolutely, and it actually highlights something really interesting about Bournemouth. Their resilience away from home, especially defensively. They've only let in 2 goals after the 60th minute this whole season. And in that same time frame, they've scored 10 themselves. So yeah, they're a real threat late in the game on both ends of the pitch.
All right, so let's recap here. We've got Fulham with their home advantage and Silva's tactical know-how. But then you have Bournemouth with their potent attack and this knack for shutting things down defensively in the later stages. Sounds like it could be a real nail-biter, right?
Couldn't agree more. The tension is definitely building. Can Fulham break through Bournemouth's defense? Will Silva's strategies be enough to overcome Bournemouth's strength in those final minutes? Who knows? But this last match of 2024 has all the makings of an absolute thriller. I can't wait to see how it unfolds.
Me neither. Huge implications for both teams and their final standings. It's going to be a good one, folks, so make sure you tune in. You won't want to miss this.
Absolutely not.
All right, that's a wrap for us today. Hope you enjoyed this deep dive, and we'll catch you next time for another exciting Premier League breakdown. See you then.